In this video, I give you my verdict along with what I consider to be the main pros and cons of the Oral-B Pro 3 3000. Hey, it's John from electricteeth here. We assist you in selecting the right dental care products and understanding common dental healthcare topics. I'm going to jump straight in and give you my overall verdict, but do stay tuned as I'll be giving you some tips and tricks to put you on the path to good oral health. The Pro 3 3000 has the essential features you want and need of an electric toothbrush. It is a strong performer that cleans the teeth well. It is worth considering the Pro 3 3500 variant. It comes with a travel case. Just make sure you're not paying a premium for it. The Pro 2 2500 is generally a better value purchase with little in the way of sacrifices. It is also grippier in hand. So just before I run through the main pros and cons, I want you to know that irrespective of the toothbrush that you use, it's important to brush your teeth twice a day for 2 minutes each time. And when you do, use the correct brushing technique. And you also want to be cleaning in between your teeth at least once a day as well, using floss or interdental brushes. If you follow these 4 key steps, you'll be on the path to creating a good oral care routine. And I must stress these are far more important than selecting between one particular electric toothbrush. Carry these things out and you'll be on a road to good oral health. So then, let's take a look at the pros and cons of the Oral-B Pro 3 3000, starting with the pros. And the first positive has to be the built-in timer and pacer, which encourages you to brush for the dentist's recommended 2 minutes, and to do so evenly. You want to make sure you get an even brush of all the teeth and the gums in the mouth so you get a thorough clean at the end of the 2 minutes. And the brush will help you, and the timer and pacer are an essential feature of an electric toothbrush in my opinion. Now, as soon as you turn this toothbrush on, the timer kicks in, and that lasts for the 2 minutes. But as part of that timer, you have the quad pacer, and the idea is you spend 30 seconds cleaning each quadrant of the mouth. Now, you have 4 quadrants in the mouth. You have the upper right, upper left, lower right, lower left, and then you spend 30 seconds cleaning each of those quadrants. Now, as the timer is running, as it hits those 30-second intervals, there'll be a brief pause in the brush motor, and that will change the sound and the brushing sensation, and that is your cue to move from one quadrant to the next. And if you follow that at the end of the 2 minutes, you should have a nice, thorough clean to the teeth. The next positive about this device is the visible pressure sensor. So here at the top of the brush handle, you have a 360-degree visible pressure sensor, and this will alert you if you are brushing the teeth with too much force. You don't need to scrub the teeth or brush with lots of pressure, as that can actually do damage to the tooth surfaces and the soft gum tissues within your mouth. So if you see the red light at the top of the brush handle illuminate, you know that you're brushing too hard. Now, if the brush detects that you are brushing too hard, not only will that light come on, but it'll also slow down the motions at the brush head as well. Now, the brush motor will kick in back to full power, subject to the cleaning mode, when you relieve that pressure. So when the red light goes out, the brush motor will speed back up again and give you the most thorough clean possible. So make sure you're not activating that pressure sensor if you can help it. It's natural to activate it at some times, but you'll soon get used to it, and that pressure sensor is really your cue to prevent you doing any unnecessary damage to the teeth and gums. And it's another essential feature that we feel is appropriate on an electric toothbrush today. Another positive has to be the built-in rechargeable battery. There's a lithium-ion battery built in here, which gives you 2+ weeks, according to Oral-B, on a full charge. In our hands-on testing, we achieved around about 20 days based on one user brushing twice a day for 2 minutes each time. So that's a nice, respectable battery life. That's long enough to allow you to sort of go on your average weekends away or even a holiday or vacation for a couple of weeks without having to take the charger with you. Now, when you do need to charge it up, it does take about 12 hours to charge on the included charging stand. You do have a battery status LED on the front of the brush handle here as well, so that gives you an idea of when the battery is running low. It will illuminate red, and then when on charge, this will also flash green to show that it's actually charging as well. So with a little over 2 weeks of battery life on a full charge, that's perfectly acceptable. It's not the longest battery life we've ever seen on an electric toothbrush, but it's certainly not the shortest. So a good respectable battery life that we are pleased with. So the final main positive of this brush is the 3 different cleaning modes that are available. Out of the box you get daily clean, sensitive and whitening cleaning mode. Now the daily clean and sensitive are our preferred modes because the daily clean is your thorough everyday cleaning mode, and then the sensitive is a lower powered mode, which is ideal if you are perhaps suffering with sensitive gums or teeth. You've got a bit of tenderness in the gums there. It's a little bit more gentle on those soft tissues in your mouth. Now, the whitening mode has a place, but to be honest, the benefits are limited. You're not going to get a massive improvement in terms of the whitening effect there. So it's not a must-have mode in our opinion, but at least you do have the choice. Now, unfortunately, this brush doesn't actually remember the last cleaning mode that you were using on the toothbrush. Now, the order of the modes are daily clean, sensitive and whitening. So if your preference is to use the sensitive mode, you actually have to press the button once to turn it on and then press the button again to select the sensitive mode. And you have to do that every time you turn the brush on. But you do get a really good clean from the brush head that comes included in here. It's the small oscillating, rotating brush head. Now, depending on the exact variant you pick up does depend on the brush head that comes included. You'll actually see on this brush we've got the 3D white brush head there, which is designed for helping white the teeth. But there are a range of interchangeable brush heads from Oral-B that you can select the ones that are your preference. Our preference is the cross action or the Sensi ultra thin brush head for giving a good everyday clean. So you have those choice of cleaning modes if you want, and it can suit different users depending on your lifestyle and your actual oral health conditions, because sometimes you don't always want the most powerful daily clean option. You do want a slightly more gentle sensitive cleaning mode, so you've got those options there if you like. So then let's move on to some of the cons of this electric toothbrush, and to be fair, there aren't many cons with this brush. It's a very good electric toothbrush overall. But if I had to call out one con, it would be the lack of cleaning mode icons or labels on the brush handle. So as I mentioned, one of the positives here is you've got a couple of different cleaning modes available, but it's not very easy to tell which mode you've got selected. There are no labels on the brush handle or icons or anything to determine which mode you're on. You just have to remember the order of the modes and hope that you've selected the right one for you. Now, over time, you'll learn which mode is which. You can tell the difference between the power and the cleaning action that you get through the brush head. But it would just be nice if there was some sort of identifier on the brush handle to make it really clear that you have the daily clean mode, the sensitive or the whitening mode actually selected. But unfortunately, that is not available on this model. And then another con in line with that is the fact that it always defaults to the daily clean mode. Now, the daily clean mode is satisfactory for the vast majority of people, but if your preference is the more gentle sensitive mode, you always have to double press the power button to get to that sensitive mode each time you turn the toothbrush on. Now, I appreciate this is certainly a first world issue, but a lot of other toothbrushes allow you to default to a different mode on the brush handle, and it would just be nice if Oral-B included that as a standard feature. Now, the third and final con has to be that there are better value options than the Oral-B Pro 3000. Now, this is by no means a terrible electric toothbrush in terms of the price that it's actually offered at. Now, the retail price of this brush is around about £90 for the standard Pro 3000. However, in the UK, typically you're going to see it selling for around about 50% less. So around about the £40 to £45 mark. However, Oral-B have also got a Pro 3500 model, which is identical to the Pro 3000 in terms of its functionality, but included in the box you also get a travel case. And the reality is that the price of that 3500 model with the travel case is around about the same as the Pro 3000 without the travel case. Now, prices are always subject to change, and it's important that you shop around at the time of purchase, but realistically you're going to want to look to see if you can get that Pro 3500, because then you get the benefit of the travel case, and in reality you're very rarely going to have to pay much in the way of a premium to get that case. If there's a couple of pounds extra to be paid for the 3500 variant, I would go for it. So I've got that travel case to store the toothbrush and up to 2 brush heads as well. Then again, we have to consider that there's the Oral-B Pro 22500, and generally speaking, that's about another £10 to £15 cheaper than the Pro 3000. Now, fundamentally, there are not many differences between these two toothbrushes. There's a little bit of a difference in the way they look, but functionally, the way they actually clean the teeth, they're going to do an equal job in that regard. There's just a little bit of difference in terms of the handle design, and the Pro 22500 doesn't actually have the full 360-degree pressure sensor. It just has a 180-degree one on the rear. But it could save you a few pounds if you are on a budget, but you still want an excellent electric toothbrush. So there we have it. That's my overall verdict on the Oral-B Pro 3000. I do hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, click subscribe. And for more tips and tricks on how to improve your oral health, do watch this video here.